Fast forward to us landing in Turkey. Although Turkey was and is an Islamic country, it allowed for a lot more freedom than Iran. So for the first time in my short life on earth, I saw women and girls walking around with no head coverings. I saw men and women speaking to each other, laughing and holding hands in the streets. What is this? How can this be? So we were once again reunited with Dad in Turkey. During the time that Dad was in Turkey by himself, he studied at university, worked, and started a business with a new acquaintance. That acquaintance stole all his money. Believing that this thief was part of a Christian church that they had once spoken about, Dad decided to give the evil Christians a visit. He soon discovered how wonderful and loving they actually are. They helped him find his business partner who was caught with drugs and the money at the German border. As the business was based on trust and no paperwork, the money could not be returned to Dad. Out of respect for all of their hard work, Dad kept up his friendship with the brothers at the church. And boy, oh boy, is his journey to Jesus amazing and involving a miraculous dream. Now that our whole family is together in Turkey, my mother for the first time experienced a kinder and gentler side of her husband. He told her about his newfound faith, that he was now a Jesus follower. After a lifetime of being a religious, good Muslim, my mother was over religion, seeing as all her efforts landed her in an unknown country away from her family without anything to her name. But the women from the church called her often and invited her to the ladies' meetings. She refused again and again, but after continuous friendly invitations, Mum said yes. At the first ever ladies' meeting my mother attended, she heard one lady after another share of how the Lord had spoken to them that week. This was very upsetting for her. She was the one who had served God religiously all her life. She was the one he should have been speaking to, not these women. Not long after, Mum had a dream. In her dream, she was in a beautiful green open field. The grass was knee-high and Jesus was walking right beside her. He needed no introduction. She just knew that it was Jesus. There were a few ladies to her left and a few others to Jesus' right. They were all just walking in blissful silence. All of a sudden, Mum stopped when they approached a deep, dark valley. Jesus and the other ladies walked on air all the way to the other side. She watched and didn't move. Jesus looked back and asked, "My daughter, why aren't you coming?" Mum replied, "Teacher, if I take a step, I'll fall." He assured her that she would not fall, and one of the other ladies reached out her hand. Mum took a step, and the valley came up. She continued to walk on solid ground with Jesus. So she woke up in the middle of the night and excitedly told her husband about this dream and asked him what it meant. He opened up his Bible to Isaiah 40, verses 4 and 5. "Every valley shall be raised up, every mountain and hill made low. The rough ground shall become leveled, the rugged places a plain. And the glory of the Lord will be revealed, and all people will see it together. For the mouth of the Lord has spoken." So my darling mother was excited to go to the next ladies' meeting and tell them how the Lord had spoken to her this week. Not long after, my parents were baptized together in Turkey at the church where brothers and sisters lovingly, patiently, and continuously welcomed them into their lives. And here begins my first encounter with Jesus. During a Christmas or Easter celebration at the church, I can't remember which one, the women were getting food ready for the barbecue, the men were talking and doing what men do, and us kids were running around and having fun. In the meantime, the old Jesus movie was being projected on the wall. I stopped and watched for a while. I saw how nice and gentle of speech Jesus was. I saw how kind and welcoming he was to the children. And I remember telling myself, I bet he would like me and be nice to me if he was here in person. I like to think of that moment as my first encounter with Jesus.